What is up, guys? Today we are going to do a quick little fix on the Tahoe. Ooh, my toddler really wants to be out here, but it's hot outside and it's nap time, so bear with me. If you hear a child screaming in the background, I assure you he is not being neglected. He is screaming at the screen door with mama. So anyways, we had a little exhaust leak on here, and while I was dealing with that, I noticed that my spark plug wire right there was wet, and I was like, man, why is that wet? You know, no oil or anything's right here. And then I looked up and I noticed, see if I can get you a good angle. I noticed this little coolant connector right here was wet, and it's got some sludge built up on it, and that's not good. I had one of these blow out on my old Cat Eye, and that is not fun when you're on the side of the road trying to fix this, because they're not the easiest to get to. But since I noticed it, I went ahead and grabbed the connector, and we're going to go ahead and change it out ahead of time before it breaks. So we're going to be using this Dorman 800 414 CD is the black connector. I forget the number for the white connector, but it's right next to it in the parts store, so it's easy to find. Yeah, so it's kind of tricky. You've got these nice little clamps. There are the little hose disconnector tools that you can use, or if you can get in there with your fingers and push those tabs in and pull on the line, you can do it that way also without the tools. And if you have a pair of bent needle nose or bent pliers, those would be great for this. I don't think these are bent enough, but they're what we're going to use. So yeah, let me get the camera kind of set up in there, find a good spot for it, and then we're going to get in there and undo our 3 hose connections and get the old part off and the new one on without dropping a boatload of coolant, and get our leak fixed. Here we go. Okay, so I'm having a really hard time getting the camera in here in a good spot, but we got that first one loose. You know, like I said, you just push the little clamps in, pull it loose, and then we've got to do the same thing on this one here, and then the one on the back that connects it to the firewall stub out. So let me get those loose. It is a turd. It is difficult, but just be patient, and you'll get it on there, no problem. Alright, so we got the tee off finally. This was our sideways one, the one that was leaking, and I can't see anything wrong with the inside of it. It's not like cracked or anything, but it was leaking nonetheless, and it was extremely difficult to get off. So the back one came off pretty decent. It's hard to fit your hands in there, but it was the easiest one to pop off. The front one kind of sucked, but I got it. And then this side one that goes on this metal pipe right here, that was miserable. Not a good time. But I ended up getting my 1/2 inch line quick disconnect, and that was what was helping me the most. But I will say it was still difficult. So yeah, now we've got the old one off. It's time to put the new one on. It's pretty straightforward. I do suggest taking some kind of rag or towel or something and wiping off your pipe connections. Just wipe. This one that was leaking had a bunch of like sludge built up on it and everything, so you want to make sure that's all clean, so when you put the new one on, it seals up good. But yeah, other than that, let's get ready to snap the new one on. All right, so one thing that was crappy about the old one coming apart is our little plastic retainer for this side from your water pump stayed on the connector, so we just gotta finesse that off very delicately. I don't know, you could probably use anything, but I've got these pliers handy. So just gonna try to get one side over, hold that, and get our other side over. Try not to mark this up too much, because you need it to seal up good. There we go. Alright, cool. Now we can put that in our new one. It's a little dirty in there, so I'm going to clean that up right quick, and then we'll snap it together. Alright, so we got our little plastic piece cleaned up and back in the water pump side hose the way it needs to be. So now I don't think it matters, but I'm gonna stick this last since it's just a straight connection. It's easy to do. So I think I'm going to plug the side piece first and then connect that onto the back at the firewall and then plug this on, and let's see how that logic works out here. All right, come on. So you can pull this metal hose back quite a bit. It's got a lot of slack in it. All right, let's get that clipped on. Come on. All right. It wasn't the loudest click, but I did see the tabs click down onto that end. Now we want to get lined up with our stub out on the heater hose, or the heater core. That should be right there, I do believe. Okay, there we go. Yep, got our click. And we're clicked down on this one, good. And now, last thing to do is get this one in there. If you have some coolant handy, it's good to fill this back up with coolant. If you don't, you know, that's up to you. I'm gonna fill it up with water. Okay, so that just puked out more coolant. Okay, I barely heard the click, but oh, no. Okay, that sucks. Uh-oh. Okay, that should be it. Okay, seems good to me. Kind of slid right off that first time. Wonder if that retainer is a little worn out, but we're pushing it in and it's good. So all right, so you know, you saw that we lost a little coolant, so I wasn't perfectly at the fill line. I was probably right here at these bottom letters, so I'm just gonna get some water because that's all I have for right now, and it's not a lot, so I'm okay with watering that much down. But we're gonna get her back full, and then we're gonna fire it up, do a little leak check, and then that should be it. Okay guys, so we're all done, got it all buttoned up. I let it run for about 10-15 minutes. Never got a change in water level except for it went up a little bit since it was running. Temp gauge is good, so don't think we trapped an air bubble anywhere or anything. So I think we're good. I would suggest if you do this, keep an eye on your coolant level and your temp gauge for the first couple drives. Just make sure you don't, these LSs like to get air bubbles in them in weird spots, and then you start chasing an overheating issue. But with you just taking that high side, you're not working on something low, so you're not letting air go up. Air's already up because this is the highest point of the coolant system. Besides the radiator, they're about at the same point. So another video of somebody doing this, I saw they took that water pump line and filled it up before they pushed it back on, which I did, so I think that helped us a little bit. But I only put of a regular water bottle, I only put probably maybe like a bottle and a quarter, maybe a bottle and a half back in, which looks equivalent to about what I leaked out when I pulled it all apart. So I think we're good. Another successful preventative maintenance. Yeah, it was starting to leak just a little bit. It was more or less seeping. It wasn't quite dripping it. But with these things, it's really good to get ahead of them before they break, so that you don't blow that out on the side of the highway or something and blow a bunch of coolant out and it just turns into a big mess. So yeah, there we go. Thanks for tuning in. Like the video if it helped you out, and other than that, peace out, be human, and we'll see you next time.